Hello everyone, welcome to the course of microbiology for MSc Biotechnology students. Today's topic is microbial growth and physiology. So first we talk about the microbial growth. Actually, uh, growth for a multicellular organism it can be defined simply in terms of increase in size of a single organism. While in case of microbial growth or bacterial growth, it is defined as the increase in cell number or the increase in overall mass. Most bacteria and archaea they reproduce generally by binary fission. Binary fission in turn is a very simple type of cell division in which the cell elongates as new material is synthesized. First, the size of the cell it increases, the cell get mature, and then it starts synthesizing the material which is required for the replication, transcription, and translation. After that, the replication starts and first of all, the chromosome, the single circular chromosome of bacteria, it replicates or it divides and separate. The newly formed DNA molecule, uh, it is considered as one complete chromosome and it migrated towards the uh, other half of the cell. If we talk about the eukaryotic microbes, they actually reproduce both by asexual reproduction as well as sexual reproduction. These eukaryotic microbes they involve both mitosis and meiosis, while in case of prokaryotic microbes, particularly bacteria, which are generally reproduced by binary fission, but sometimes they also reproduce by some other altered method like budding or multiple fission. As we can see in case of cyanobacteria, the mature parent cell it is first divided into two parts. The cytoplasm of the cell it is first divided into two parts. The apical cell and the basal cell, and then basal cells it undergoes multiple division or multiple division gives a very small tiny cytoplasmic areas which are known as biocytes, and these biocytes they remains inside the cell wall. So these oocytes they are held within the cell wall of the parent cell until they are released. While in case of streptomyces, if we talk about the altered form of the asexual reproduction other than binary fission, in case of streptomyces, they form multinucleate filaments that eventually divide to form. You can see in this figure C, and these multinucleated filaments they eventually divide to form uninucleate spores. See here, these are the uninucleate spores, and these spores are readily dispersed like the dispersal spores or asexual spores found in the filamentous fungi. So, however, despite the diversity of bacterial reproductive strategies, they share some features. And in all cases of these type of either they undergoes budding or they undergoes multiple fission or produces oospores, they the genome of the cell must be replicated and segregated to form distinct nuclei. At some point during reproduction, each nucleid and its surrounding cytoplasm become enclosed within its own plasma membrane, and this process is known as cytokinesis. So, these bacterial cells they undergoes a type of cell division, and the cell cycle of the bacterial cell it can be divided into three phases. Here, we can consider the cell cycle of E. coli, the simplest one and most studied bacterium. And you can see the after increasing in the mass of the cell, that is, the cell get mature, it synthesizes all the essential metabolites required for replication or reproduction. Then this cell undergoes cell division, and the cell cycle it can be divided into three phases. First, a period of growth, and that is followed by chromosome replication and partitioning period, and that is followed by uh, cytokinesis. So, in case of period of growth, which is comes after the cell is generated, or you can say the cell is born, and this period of growth it is similar to the G1 phase of the eukaryotic cell cycle, while the second phase, that is the chromosome replication and partitioning period, it actually correspond to the S phase and mitosis events of the M1 phase of the eukaryotic cycle, as you will have studied in your cell biology course, and that is finally followed by cytokinesis. And during cytokinesis, a septum formation takes place, and daughter cells are separated from each other. You can see in this figure the daughter cells they get separated from each other. So, if you recall, in the eukaryotic cell cycle, the S phase is separated from the M phase by another period that is known as G2. And in G2, chromosome replication is completed, and segregation occurs. And but this is not in the case of bacteria. Um, Bacterial chromosome replication and partitioning occurs concurrently, and the initial events of cytokinesis it occurs before chromosome replication and partitioning are complete. Remember that the cytokinesis occur before chromosome replication and partitioning are complete. So some in case of some rapidly dividing bacteria, they actually able to initiate new rounds of replication, and partitioning overlaps with cytokinesis. So next topic is the chromosome replication and partitioning. So here we can see the chromosome. First, we can consider the chromosome replication. Actually, most of the bacteria, generally most of the bacteria, they have a single circular chromosome, as you can see in case of this E. coli bacteria, which is a gram negative bacteria. And this circular chromosome has a single side at which the replication starts, and this single site it is known as origin of replication. So replication origin of replication is also simply called as origin, and this replication it is completed at the opposite side of the origin, that is known as terminus, and a newly formed bacterial cell in a newly formed bacterial cell, the chromosome is compacted and organized so that the origin and terminus are in opposite half of the cell. You can see here that this is the origin while this is the terminus. They actually present at the opposite side of the uh, cell, opposite half of the cell. So the in the early phase of the cell cycle, the origin and terminus move to mid cell, and a group of protein which is needed for chromosome replication assemble at the origin. A group of proteins it assemble at the point of origin, and this DNA synthesizing machinery, which actually gathered or it is grouped at the site of origin, it is known as replizo. It is known as replizo. The DNA replication, as you can see in this picture, it actually replication proceeds in both direction. That is the bidirectional DNA replication. It proceeds in both direction from the origin, and as progeny chromosomes are synthesized, the two newly formed the two newly formed origin, they move uh, actually opposite side, they move toward opposite ends of the cells, and rest of the chromosome rest of the chromosome it is follows in an orderly fashion, and the mechanism by which chromosomes are partitioned to each data cells. However, it is not been fully elucidated, but the most studied mechanism it has been actually in case of this Caulobacter crescentus bacterium, and the studies of Caulobacter have provided actually the most complete understanding of the partition. Actually, this bacterium it has an interesting life cycle, and in which a sessile stalk, you can see stalk here. The Caulobacter has a additional appendages known as stalk, and this sessile stalk stalk cell divides to give rise a slightly smaller flagellated swarmer cells, and very interesting part of this the life cycle of Caulobacter is that the flagellum of the cell it forms at the pole opposite to the starch. So if the starch is present here, the after the cell division, when the spermatocytes are originated, they possess plasma at the opposite side here. So let's talk about the partitioning of the chromosome, which is most studied in the Campylobacter receptors. So the protein which is responsible for partitioning of chromosome, they are considered as par A and par B, and it has been found that it is reported that most of the bacteria they possess par A and par B gene. So par A and par B proteins work together to initiate partitioning, and in this par A par B partitioning system, the par A protein has ability to polymerize, and it will polymerize in the form of filaments. While par B, this is the par B, it is a DNA binding protein, and it binds a site on the chromosome that is known as par S. This is the par S site which is present on the chromosome. So this par B it binds at the uh, both side of the you can say the par B binds to each copy of par S site on the two data chromosome which are formed during replication. As we have earlier seen that when the replosome is formed and the replication starts in bidirectional form, first of all, what happens? The origin of replication, or you can say origin, it replicated the area around the origin of replication is replicated, and these two origin they move apart from each other at the opposite pole of the cell. So if there is two origin of replication, so there is two par S sites where this par B protein can bind, as you can see in this picture. So the par B binds to each copy of the par S site on the two data chromosome which form during replication. And one of the here one of the par B par S complexes it interact with par A filaments, while one of the par B par S complex it remain uh, at the stark pole of the dividing cell. And as soon as this par B par S protein complex it interact with par A filament, it causes depolarization of par A protein. This depolarization uh, causes the pull that daughter chromosome towards the opposite pole of the cell. Once the origin region of each daughter chromosome has been positioned at its pole, chromosome segregation continues as replication continues, and these nuclide these nuclear associated proteins they may continue to pull the daughter chromosome apart. Okay, you can see जैसे जैसे after the replication starts there are two origin of replication, and these two origin of replication it possess par S sites where this DNA binding par B protein binds. Okay. So one par B par S complex it resides at the start sites, and another it complex this complex it interact with the par A protein. Para protein, it is a filamentous protein. It get polymerized, and after the interaction with par B, par S complex, what happens? This par A filaments is depolar polymerized, और डीपोलामराइज होगा तो क्या होगा कि ये इसका साइज रिड्यूस होगा, और रिड्यूस अपोजिट साइड में होगा, जिसकी वजह से इस जो ये डाटर क्रोमोसोम है, जो ये रेप्लिकेटेड फॉर्म है, इसको अलोंग विद जैसे जैसे इसका साइज घटता जाएगा पारे का, ये खींचेगा पूरा का पूरा जो है क्रोमोसोम एट अपोजिट, एंड बाय दिस वे these two chromosomes get separated with each other during the replication. Is it clear to all of you? If you have any queries, you can ask. Thank you very much.